All right, welcome. We're going to be looking at Of America 2, pages 273 to 282. Also looking at your vocab list 33. You have the quiz tomorrow, so we'll review and then make sure that you write that twice for homework, and then you'll have the quiz tomorrow. So, first of all, what's the word that means a soft white fur? A soft white fur. Ermine, ermine. What does it mean to tolerate? Tolerate. Brook, very good, all right. Insects of rodents that are destructive are what? Insects or rodents that are destructive are called vermin, very good. A small drum, what's a small drum? Tabor, tabor. Sharpening, sharpening. Wetting, wetting. Dark, what means dark? Swarthy, swarthy. A way of escape is what? A loophole. Underground. What's underground? Subterraneous. All right, very good. Terror. What means terror? Consternation. And friends and relatives means what? Kith and kin. Kith and kin, or actually the meaning of it. Kith and kin means friends and relatives. Okay, said that the wrong direction. All right, so make sure that you study those well. All right, we're going to jump right into the Pied Piper of Hamelin. You may have heard the story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. It was originally written by Robert Browning, as we will read it today in poem form. Read carefully so you'll be able to tell the moral of the story, okay? So, I'll start it off for you. Hamelin, towns in Brunswick, by famous Hanover City, to river west deep and wide, washes its walls on the southern side. A pleasanter spot you never spied, but when begins my ditty almost 500 years ago, to see the townsfolk suffer so from vermin was such a pity. Rats, they found the dogs and killed the cats, and bit the babies in the cradles, and ate the cheese out of the vats, and licked the spoon from the cook's own ladle, split open the kegs of salted sprats, made nests inside men's Sunday hats, and even spoiled the women's chats by drowning their speaking with shrieking and squeaking in 50 different sharps and flats. At last the people in the body to the town hall came flocking. 'Tis clear, they cried, our mayor's a naughty. And that naughty is a foolish person. That's not the same one you're probably thinking of. All right. And as for our corporation, shocking to think that we buy gowns lined with ermine for dolts that can't or won't determine what's best to rid us of our vermin. You hope because you're old to find in the furry civic robe ease. Rouse up, sirs, give your brain a racking to find the remedy we're lacking, or sure as fate will send you packing. At this the mayor and corporation quaked with a mighty consternation. An hour they sat in council. Okay, so far, this town of Hamelin is overrun with what? Rats. Rats, that's what's wrong. And they've come to the town hall to speak to who? The mayor and the corporation. And so they were in a council. They were sitting, they were talking what was going to happen, what they needed to do about the rats. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys finish this. It is a long poem, but read it carefully. And try to put the sentences together, because the lines are not the sentence. So as you heard me reading, I would follow through with the next line because the sentence wasn't completed. So try to do that so you can get the idea of it, okay? You might have to go back and reread a section because it gets a little confusing. So just try to figure out what they're talking about. And we will talk about that one next time. So I'll give you a lot of, give you some help with that. But I do want to ask just a couple questions from the last story with Bassanio and Portia. Where did this story take place? Where did the story take place? In Venice, Italy. What business was Shylock in? What business was Shylock in? He was a moneylender, right? What was strange about the deal that Shylock made with Antonio? Shylock would lend him money, but if Antonio couldn't repay, he would take a pound of Antonio's flesh. How was Bassanio different from Portia's other suitors? How was he different? He really loved her. He wasn't just after her money. Explain the loophole that Portia discovered in Shylock's contract. Okay, so what was the loophole? The contract called for exactly 1 pound of flesh, no more, no less. Also, it did not say that he could take Antonio's blood, which he was sure to do if he cut him, okay? In this story, Shakespeare tells us something about hatred and greed. What? What is he telling us? It's not right to hate someone because of his nationality or race. Greed is destructive, and God wants us to be giving and generous, okay? So those are some lessons that we learned from that story, okay? So you can go ahead and read, and if you need to read what I read again, that's fine too. But read all the way to page 282, the end of this story, and see if you can figure out the moral of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. Don't forget to write your vocab list twice and study for the quiz tomorrow. We'll see you in the next lesson.